on her feet, you know. I didn't know nothing about her past. I didn't know nothing about her kids, her family, nothing. And, it was a little bit, and we started talking, and I gave her my phone number. And, well, that was the biggest mistake ever, because once you give her your phone number, thinking that you could actually just be a friend and maybe help her, oh my God.
It's never ending at that point.
No. And the gaslighting and everything that she will do to you is beyond belief. The first time that I helped her, she was in her car. Trigger warning for anybody. She was in her car and she was having a hard time. And looking back now, she was probably under the influence of something. But she was crying, her eyes out, in the cemetery. And she said that she had no gas to get home, and she was stuck out at the cemetery, that she would literally have to have somebody bring her gas from the gas station to where she is because she had no gas. And right around that time, I had just lost my grandfather. So I could only imagine being stuck out by the cemetery. I couldn't. So I sent her $5. And that was back in August of 21. And I have the screenshots of the cash app. But she was crying and going over the past and going over how much she missed her mom and how much she's done wrong in her life and what a piece of shit she is. Just so, everybody in the comments would say, no, you're just down on your luck. You need some help, blah, blah, blah. You're not bad. You know how she does it to everybody. Well, I kind of kept my distance after that for a little bit, and she would text me and I would just ignore it. I would keep it on red. And I would come on, and when I would come on, she put me on as a mod. And I would always just stay quiet. But then there was always people saying stuff about her, and I'm like, these people aren't going to run around and say this stuff without proof. They have a reason why they're saying this. But I still felt sorry for her. And she was still staying in her car, and I seen how she was getting money from people for hotel rooms, for food, and how the day that she sat in the car in the parking lot at the gas station on a hot day with the dog on a rope tied to the door. The cat was in the back window, and they were just a panting. She said she didn't have no water. The dog, I sent $5 again, and I said, I don't know whether you're going to get some water or whether you're going to get some gas or whatever. I said, but I have to talk to these people. Well, then she got mad, and she actually sent the $5 back to me. She said that if I wanted to believe these people, that I just needed to stay away there if I was going to believe these people. And I haven't even talked to anybody yet. Well, that night, she was sitting in the same gas station, and she was crying that she was scared, that there was leery people out there, and there was me and 4 other people in the room. Now, when I mind you that what she did was so horrible, and how she could act this out, I don't know, because it went from 5 people in the room to 100 people in the room. But she sat there in that car with the windows cracked, crying that she was scared, crying because her ex-boyfriend beat her up or was going to come and beat her up, or some ex was going to come do something to her. And she was scared. That's why she was at the gas station parking lot. She said, so then if anything happened, that the cops were around close. She was crying. And then all of a sudden, it was about 11:30, And she made it seem like somebody was knocking on her car windows, trying to break into the car to grape her. Now, I mind you, she went on with that for almost 25 minutes. She wouldn't tell nobody where she was. So right there, I only know of one person that she's been with. So I'm going to ask right now, because I know she's listening to this damn video. Dude, how can you act and do something like that and say it was an ex, and now you're going to try to be with him tomorrow? That's wrong
Bingo.
with you.
Bingo.
Like, what
Yep.
the hell is
And then
wrong with you?
allegedly where he, you know, I mean, it's, and he's the common denominator. All these times that she was like attacked and beaten, whatnot, like with the laptop over her head in a hotel room. And this was like what, last year, just like a couple months ago. I say a couple
December,
months
yeah.
ago, but it was like it was
December.
last year before he went to jail, I think.
Yep.
And then
Exactly.
that's when she went to rehab.
Well, I mean, it was that night that I ended up sending that $5 back to her and said, well, you better get some gas and get the out of there, because I've been in DV situations. So that gaslighted me. That like really, that put me into anxiety 100. Like, I was pacing around my house trying to figure out. It got down to the point where I was thinking about moving her down here to North Carolina to get her out of that situation just after that. Thank God I never did. Thank God somebody messaged me and talked to me and got through to me to see really what kind of person she was. Because I'm telling you right now, that would have been the worst, biggest mistake in my life.
And you know, exactly, Pity. This is why awareness does what they do. Because, you know, I always say you can't get through to everybody. But when there's one person that we know we've gotten through to and saw the truth about Jen and were saved, you know, not only financially, but emotionally, because I can hear it in your voice. I mean, I can hear it that it was something that was very, very personal to you because of her claims.
It was.
And you know, you really indeed thought that she was in trouble. She was manipulating your emotions for financial gain, but you found out. And it was because somebody reached out to you and told you the truth. That's why we do this. Are we gonna be able to save everybody? No. But if we can save one person here and there, that's what it's about.
I mean, could you imagine though? I sit now today and think, if that would have happened and I would have moved here to North Carolina here, what the hell kind of situation would have I put myself into? Like, I probably would have had to evict her out of my house with how nasty she is to anybody she stays with and the claims that she makes. I probably would have ended up behind bars.
Yeah, and she would have never left. Like you would have actually had to have the police come and force her out of there. Because she's not the type of person that's just going to say, okay, see ya.
Yeah, and you know, I sit here and I'm like, you know, I listen to everybody's stories on here, and a lot of the time I sit in here and I'm quiet. But I listen to everybody's stories. And like I said today, before I went in her box, Jen, why is it everybody else's fault and you never take accountability? Well, she said that she has taken accountability and she's sick of taking accountability. You shouldn't be sick of taking accountability for what you've done and fix it. You shouldn't be tired of it. You should be proud to stand on your own 2 feet and say, no, I have changed. I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. Just like her whole cancer issue. My grandfather died of cancer. And you're going to walk around and say that you have cancer now, but then when somebody asks you, it's just a nodule.
Listen, you know, I've said she has pissed so many people off with the topic of all her different lies. I mean, she has so many groups of people that are in groups that they don't want to be in. You know, they don't want to be in a group of somebody called, you know, fighting cancer. They don't want to be in a group that's called losing a child. They don't want to be in a group that's called DV. They don't want to be in a group, you know, everything she has said. And all of these groups of people, she has lied about her situation to garner sympathy and money.
Right. And
Exactly.
you don't want to, whenever someone tells you something like that, you don't want to question it because then you're going to be the bad guy. So you go with it. And it does exactly what she wants it to do, which is garner sympathy.
You know, and
You want to believe it.
I want to say one thing is she said in the very beginning of her live that we live in the past, but she does it every time she opens her mouth. Wouldn't it be easier? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't it be easier for her to come up on her live and unblock everybody and just plain out say, you know what? I'm a grown adult. I need to take accountability for my actions. Anybody that I've hurt, come in this box. Anybody who has a problem with me, come in this box. But first, I want to say I've lied about cancer. I've lied about DV situation. I've lied about this. I've taken advantage and come truth for with everything she's lied about and say, yes, I did lie. I'm
But she
sorry.
won't do that. She
Exactly.
won't do that.
But
She
wouldn't
won't do that because she would have to admit that she's lied and she was wrong about everything.
But wouldn't everybody look at her a different way though if she did that and said, you know, I am sorry. And the only way I can say I'm sorry is if I don't do it again. That's how I truly mean it. But I did lie about all this shit. I did do this and faked it and acted it out. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do it again. And if she would stand on her own 2 feet, take accountability truthfully, I think people would want to help her and give her good advice and not hate on her. But she wants to lie and take all this attention and everything and take everybody's emotions that actually has had something happen to them. Jen, quit taking everybody else's tragedy life stories and making them your own because
Exactly.
it's sick. It's sick.
Exactly.
And you don't know how many people you're hurting and how many people's mental health you're screwing with.
Yep.
That's what makes me mad. You might talk about something tomorrow about a DV situation that you had, or Sunday if something happens Sunday after he comes home and you come back and say, oh, he did this or that. We're going to say, well, you knew it was going to happen.
Yep. Yep.
Don't talk
And
less about it.
the only reason why she came, air quote, clean about the whole Matt situation is because she was caught. She was caught
Exactly.
red-handed. And at first, she tried to say that that wasn't real. Like, oh, no, I don't know what they're talking about. But when she was caught red-handed and like the whole, like the second phone thing, she tried to lie about that at first too. Like, oh, it's the neighbors. And she let me use it while she was at the hospital. And then when she was caught red-handed for that,
Yeah.
she had no choice but to come clean about it.
Well, it's just like this morning in the beginning. She said that she only paid for 2 phone calls from Matt. The rest, the dad and the brother paid for. But she only had 2 phone calls she paid for. That's a damn lie.
Absolutely.
That's a lie.
Absolutely.
Like, if she
Absolutely.
really thinks, Jen, if you really think that we believe you still or we're feeling bad for you, I'm sorry to say it, but we don't. And if something happens, as far as a DV situation, if something happens, I pray to God you don't come to TikTok and say anything about it. I really hope you just do what you need to do and shut your mouth and fix the problem. Because nobody on this app is going to feel sorry for you. Not a one.
No. Yep. And you know, just again, alluding. Remember, notice how she's not using. Well, she didn't mention my name really at all today with anything significant, because the whole thing with her incident a couple weeks ago, which, again, we proved that to be false because we have the police recording of the actual process that they go through when somebody is in a mental health crisis. We know for a fact that didn't happen.
Right.
When she went to the hospital yesterday, she alluded, she didn't come out and say it, but she alluded something about mental health. And yesterday, she made a comment, and I'll have to go back through it to find it. And make sure she didn't use my name in the context of it, but she did say something about this is what they do. They push you. And I think she said something like, which is one of the reasons I was not on live yesterday or something like that.
Yes, she did.
I'll have to check that out. But
Yeah, she alluded to the fact that she was in the hospital because of them.
Yep, of them.
yeah. So, what I will be doing is I will be making a recording of that. And, if my lawyer thinks that that's enough to get her and that she broke the cease and desist, then I'll go ahead and I'll file an actual real PO, not one that I just keep talking about and threatening people with. I will do it.
And I
So,
150% believe that you will, and that you're
Yep,
ready to go forth.
Yep, and you know why? It's because of the lies. It's because of the lies that Pitty was talking about that you had. It's about the lies that you said to Moon Pie. It's about the lies you say on every single live about yourself. You're always talking about people getting you fired, doing this and that, calling your work. You have proof. You never show proof. And I hope other people on here, I hope KK, I hope Dora, I hope all of you guys do a cease and desist letter because Jen doesn't have the self-control to not make these allegations still. And that's when she's going to hit the minefield, and that's when she's going to touch one of those off because she will insist on these lies still, even if she knows she's not supposed to say it. And I've said to her, and I'll say this again, Jen, any proof you have, you absolutely show it. Just like KK said, if it's going to make me look bad and it's the truth, show it. If it's going to make Dora look bad and it's the truth, show it. Show it. Put your money, put the proof where your mouth is, Jen. Just do it.
100%.
Because we have days and days and days and days and months and years of videos of you saying these things, going back to years. We can easily find proof, and we can prove 98% of what you're saying is not true. Yet you are saying a lot of things and you have nothing to back it up. So you may want to think about that.
Well, in the end, I do pray that she gets better.
Absolutely.
As we all do.
And,
Exactly.
That's one thing she can't say when she sits there and says that you guys body shame her and all this and that. That's a lie. Because
You know
in
what?
the end, you guys just want what's best for her. And you know what? I have a hard time to believe that if she was honestly 150% serious and wanted to harm herself, and you were the last person that she called, and you could hear it in her voice that she was serious, I believe you'd call her back just to try to help her. Just to the fact of trying to help her.
Absolutely.
So for her
Absolutely.
to run you down like she doesn't know how good she's got it. And all this shit that she keeps saying, she's grateful for this, great. Quit saying it because Tech told you to say it, or put that.
Exactly.
Say it because you mean it.
Well, and just a couple weeks ago, she called me asking me for help, and I was going to help her. I was going to help her until literally, I think it was 2 days later, she just started on this whole, I'm doing this, I'm doing that thing, when we had just had a conversation not 2 days before, and then she started down that whole spill because I didn't get that information to her right that day.
Yeah.
Right that day.
Can you tell us what information she was looking for? Or is
Yeah.
that private?
No,
You
I
don't
mean,
need to.
she was looking to move to a different location,
Yeah.
a
And
different
she can't find this stuff
sober
herself?
living or whatever. And I was going to help her. I was, because I was like, look, because there was, I know she likes to use the stabbing or whatever as
Yeah.
and there was, and if she was wanting to go to, if I could help her find a real like sober living place
Can I ask you a
away from that
question?
area, I would have done it.
Was she looking in Ohio?
Yes. It was something that something that would take her
She was looking.
insurance.
So she was looking for another city in Ohio.
Yes, there's something that would take her insurance, which I know that her insurance covers in Ohio, and I think like some other states that are close.
Uh-huh.
I'm not quite for sure, because I was just trying to send her links to places, because
Right.
I told her, I was like, I don't want your information. You're going to have to go through and fill all of this out.
Right. Now here's a question for you. Hasn't she just been saying over and over again that she's there for 18 months?
Yes, at first it's 12 months, 15 months, 18 months. I know that she had showed a piece of paper. I think that was her lease. I can't recall exactly. I think maybe 12 months is what it said. But I mean,
Right.
her story changes depending on what she needs that day. It's been 12, 15, and then 18.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna say this one last thing, and then I'm gonna jump down. But this is to J-Bag. Your first step is to forgive yourself and let the past go. Your second step is to find God or find whoever you believe in. Because let me tell you, all these people who are disappointed in you after the lies and the actions that you have done that has physically and mentally hurt these people, you really need to find yourself first. And there ain't no relationship, no friendship, no nothing that is going to work until you find yourself and forgive yourself first for what you've done in your past. That's where you have to stand up and take accountability for what you've done to your children, for what you've done to yourself in your past. That's where you have to take your first step.
Preach it. Preach it.
And not only that, is everybody that you have hurt and disappointed on here that are still willing to help you. That's what you should feel grateful for. You should feel grateful that God gives you another breath as He takes another that's done nothing. That's what you should feel grateful for. So before you come back on here and drag another person, why don't you put that phone down and forgive yourself and find yourself first? Because that is your first step to success. Other than that, I told my story. I love y'all on here.
Oh,
I will be back one day, I'm sure, and I'll always be in the comments.
thank you very much, Pity. I know that took a while for you to share your story, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It did because it hurt. It hurt what she
Yep.
done.
And I hope she's listening to this.
Because, I mean,
I hope she,
it was days and weeks after I stopped talking to her that she gaslit me so bad that my mental state went down on the text message that she sent me, that she was going to harm herself because I wouldn't talk to her, or she was going to harm herself because nobody cares anymore. Stop. Just stop. Just freaking stop. All right.
thank you.
Love y'all. See y'all in the comments.
Oh. Wait, Dora, Smitty didn't come see you, did he?
Contact with Smitty.
And?
He took a photo with me.
Oh, you gonna share it?
Yes. Smitty even pulled out his handcuffs and asked me if I was ready for the Fed.
I'm gonna give you a big box. Can you share?
And I'm gonna drop, but I'm living for this. Thank you for allowing me to box Scammy. You're wonderful. Thank
Okay,
you
love
for
you.
continuously spreading awareness. You're very much appreciated.
No, you are. Thank you.
So I explained to Smitty, I said, Smitty, I've been waiting for you for so long to deliver my papers. He said, what papers? I was like, papers from Jennifer Martin. She's been supposed to serve me for 3 weeks now. I said, I have a serious question. I said, I'm just curious if we can go to the federal prison for streaming somebody online. He pulls out his handcuffs and he says, are you ready, ma'am? I said, I'm more than ready, baby. More than ready.
More than ready, baby.
And he
Baby.
started laughing and he said, are you freaking serious? I said, I'm dead serious. And he started laughing and he said, you absolutely cannot get in any kind of trouble at all for streaming someone who is already publicizing themselves. So here we go. Hold on.
Show me the proof.
There's Smitty.
Smitty's a nice looking guy.
Smitty is very nice and he smelled good too. I think he smelled like court papers.
He's a court. Nothing like the smell of court papers in the morning. Wait, can you show it again because people missed it?
For sure. You see in his hand, he's got the cuffs out.
Oh yeah,
They were black too.
he's a good looking man. That's why everybody wanted to see it again. They wanted to see what Smitty looked like.
Smitty.
Smitty is a
Hey,
handsome
I'm
guy.
voting for Smitty.
Smitty's a handsome guy. That needs to be your new picture. I'm just saying that needs to be your new picture for a while.
Oh, I'm fully changing it. I said, Smitty, you caught me because I was in the moment of on my lunch break and I'm just chilling. And I said, I've been looking for you for so long.
I have to say, when you messaged me and said that you're with Smitty, I was like, what? Like I honestly thought that something happened.
I explained to him all about Jennifer. And in the middle of the store owner and Smitty were laughing so fucking hard. I said, you won't believe this shit. And he started laughing. He goes, we're supposed to serve you papers for streaming somebody who is actively scamming online. I said, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for him, Smitty.
And
I'm happy to see you finally.
And this is the thing that is this is the thing I don't like about the justice system is you can file a PO on anybody, and like Jen did against Mel, and you can lie on the paperwork, which will force somebody to have to appear and answer to it. Okay, and you could make every lie that you want on the paperwork for it, but then you would have to go in still, and you would have to appear. And like we know with the Mel case, Jen just didn't appear, and even though it was on Zoom because she knew she had nothing. But in that way, that's how people like Jen try to get an upper hand by just irritating the hell out of you to have to do that. But like I said, I'm not going to fall for that bullshit. And if she first of all, I am fully confident she has not filled out anything. Absolutely nothing. I mean,
Perhaps. You get some papers for me. I said, next time can we do a TikTok video together so that, when I go to the federal, I have some content.
absolutely.
He was like, absolutely, ma'am.
Hmm.
He said, and he got a good laugh for the day.
Yep. You know, but this is the thing. For those of you, with Dora and KK and SP, I highly recommend that you do the cease and desist on what she was talking about today again, because you put that in writing, you read it on the live. Um, we know Jen listens to all these lives. We know that she's got people that send her clips. I know that she gets the stuff that I post because people, people I don't even know will like it. They'll put it in their favorites. I know that Jen is getting them. Um, Definitely do it. And if she crosses that line again, just like I'm going to do, I will do it. I will absolutely file against her. And I have no qualms about doing it. And, she's got to realize now enough is enough. I mean, she's screwing with people now that aren't falling for it and have had enough. And she's really got to learn that lesson because, she's still saying the same shit, different day. She's blaming people for stuff that didn't happen. And, it's enough. And she's starting with a whole new bunch of people. And what I suggest, and I'm going to do this later too, go back through the live today and take a look at the new people in her lives and reach out to them. Send them a message. Keep it short and sweet. Tell them to go to ISYBW, watch her videos, watch my videos, look at posts that other people have done. Point them in the direction and let them make their own decision because they need to hear another side, not just what Jen says.
Absolutely agreed.
Let's get Ann in here now. Hi, Ann. Ann, did you want to come up here? I'm guessing not. Okay, let's see who else wants to come up. Diana H., did you want to come up? I'm bringing you up here. Hi, Diana. Did you want to come up, Diana? I'm gonna guess no. What Joan just said. Jen needs to look at the legacy she will leave behind and what God will say. I think that's the part that makes me the most sad about this, in all honesty, because I think all of us as individuals, especially when you get to, most of our ages here in the 50s and all that, except for Dora, who's still 12. But, we sit here and we think to ourselves, what are people going to remember me for? And I think about that because, when you lose your parents and, you look at what their legacy was and you hear what people tell you about your parents and, all the wonderful stories and the compliments about them and all that. And you think to yourself, what are people going to say about me? And, for all of us that have achieved things in our lives, we can say, oh, well, I did this, I did that. Personally, I taught for 30 years. There's still kids that, that I haven't taught for decades. And, I get messages from them here and there. And you know what I mean? It's like, you think about, what did others think about you? You know, what mark did you leave in this world? Is there anything? I mean, I will always have, my son as my legacy, because he will continue on when I'm no longer here. But really, and I think about what the legacy for Jen will be, and it's sad. I mean, because there's just, I mean, she has her daughter, which is, her daughter's wonderful, but that was not because of her. I mean, that was because of, her grandparents that raised her, and it was because of her uncles and aunts that were there when she was growing up. You know, you didn't have, any type of a career in anything. Um, what are people going to say about that? It's sad. Exactly. She's existing. She's existing.
And she is. She's not trying to even better her life herself. And she keeps saying, if you listen to her, she continues to say, I'm doing great. I'm doing it all by myself. I'm clean and sober and I'm doing everything. What have you done for yourself? Nothing. Nothing. TikTok has still been doing it for you. And you want people to do everything for you. She's in her 40s, like 40, what, 46?
And why, I don't know if KK's here, but why? I mean, Jen claims all these people are so terrible to her, yet she still reaches out to them and asks them for help. It's like she's bad mouthing KK, and then, all of a sudden she reaches out to ask her for help and finding some. I mean, I hate that phrase. I'm not going to say it, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Not at all. She badmouths everybody and then turns around and asks them for help. Like, make it make sense here, Jen. And nobody, if Jen was truly trying and she really was putting forth a lot of effort into helping herself, if she called or messaged any one of us to say, I'm really having some bad thoughts, can you talk to me? You don't think we wouldn't be on the other end of that phone with her? Sure, we would. We would try if it was legit.
Yep.
But she's not done nothing to help herself in any situation. She's not trying to work to provide for herself because she knows it's a gateway. TikTok is a gateway for her to continuously get money.
Yep.
Even if it's $20, $20 is $20 to her.
$20 is $20 more than she had this morning. And
Yes.
to her, that's a payday.
Exactly. And I couldn't imagine not trying to provide for myself. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that from Judy talking about their parents always raised every single one of them to work for what you have.
Yep.
They were sweet, kind-hearted people. I had been in a live with the dad a couple of times, and he was such a great soul. And his stories and there's so many things, and she was not raised like that, and Judy has said that several times.
Yep.
So why would you not want to try to do anything for yourself? It's always an excuse, and excuses are eventually going to run out for her.
Yep. Somebody wanted an update. There's really not much to update. Jen came on and she started by saying that she was in the hospital yesterday for some of the day, and that's why she wasn't online. But she didn't really discuss what it was. Did she even say that she had a biopsy? Did she even say that? I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking. I don't want to put
I
you
don't
to.
think that she said she had a biopsy. She said when Moon Pie was in the box, she said they've got to biopsy the lump under her breast area and they were going to do surgery to remove it.
So she didn't. She it wasn't because of that. And again, I got to go back through the I have to go back through the recording because from what I heard, she made it sound like it could have been a mental health thing. So I want to check that before I, commit to what it was. But, so she really didn't talk about that. She talked about coming on to sell diamond art because she needs money, the usual, I'm going to keep coming on here because people can't tell me what to do. And then she had another person in there. I'm not going to say the person's name. And it's somebody that, has very strong feelings about other people on TikTok that, I'm friends with and that Jen does not like. So the most of the live was Jen and this other person talking negatively about these other two people. And and the only reason why that, it seemed as though the person was in there was just to have a microphone to talk badly about these two people. I mean, and again, I'm not going to, I'm not going to talk any more about that because, I'm not getting in there. But, I hope that Moon Pie is listening, and I hope that she, watches some of the videos and, you know, and focus. What I'm focusing on with Moon Pie is focus on Jen and who she is. Okay, because a lot of the things that she said were not truthful, and you could see them in any of the videos. And Jen likes to bring these other people in her boxes to try to give her validity of everything she says. I mean, she's done it with Tech. She's done it with this person now. She's tried to do it with Petty a couple times. She's tried to do it with SP over the years. I mean, everybody. She tries doing it with everybody. And, to me, that's kind of what it was today. And, that's fine. I mean, they can do that. They could do that as much as they want because if that's happening, then Jen's not getting any money anyways. So that's all good with me. I don't care.
Right. Like, she can be friends with who she wants to be friends with. She can do what she wants to do. The main goal of anything is to spread awareness regarding Jen. Do not give money to people on the internet.
Yeah.
That's exactly all it is. And besides pointing out her lies, there was about 4 that I counted during the parts of the live stream that I watched.
Yeah. And, the other thing is this, you've got to notice what was said towards the end of that live too. Okay. That the guest in the box said. She said, let me know when you're going on later because I'll bring the whole gang. The gang. Yes, it was recorded. I think it was recorded. Yeah.
A gang to beat up on the.
Yeah. So, I'll be on later to listen to that. You know, I just, I think people need to be very careful with agreeing. There goes my dog. Come here, Ribs. Ribs,
Puppers.
come here. Come here, Ribs. Hi, Ribs.
Oh, look at
Beagle,
her.
the
She's so
beagle, the
precious.
beagle. Oh my God, Beagle's here. Woohoo. People have to be very careful when they're in a box with Jen and Jen says stuff and they agree with her because, they're setting themselves up for backlash because they're agreeing and they're agreeing with something she's saying that is not honest and it's not truthful and that always that always causes a problem. And I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're somebody who's a good friend of mine or if you're somebody I don't know. Be very careful. Know what you're getting into because, with Jen, there's always an ulterior motive for her when somebody is in her box. And all I could say is just do some research on why. What is it? What is it that she wants from you? Because there's definitely something she wants. Definitely. Okay, I'm gonna bring a couple more people up here, and then I have to go pick up my boy Wonder. So let's see here. Hi, Petey's mom.
Hello, I can barely hear. I just wanted to bring something up. You know, when she was in like hot water after April died and she was crying on the phone, and Teresa said she saw the paperwork? Well, last night they made a live and she was crying, and Teresa was like, I saw the paperwork. She really does. If Jen had cancer, she wouldn't she would be scared to death, like I am and some others on here. You know, she would be scared to death.
Well, this is the thing, though. Remember, Teresa backed off that comment, and she said she saw, Jen showed some paperwork on her camera, but she couldn't read it, and she didn't know what it said.
Right. Well, last night she endorsed it. She said she saw paperwork. Go back and listen to the live. Jen was bawling her eyes out. And she said, Teresa, you tell them.
I know, but yeah, that was a live from 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh, I thought it was from last night.
No,
Okay.
that was from the morning when they found out April had passed.
Right.
And then she brought up that I got some bad news yesterday,
Yeah.
and Teresa said that that was a while ago, and ever since then Teresa admitted that she really didn't get a look at the paperwork. She
Right.
didn't see anything, and Jen just kind of showed some paperwork in front of the camera like she always does and shakes it around so you can't read it.
She wouldn't be shaking that around. I mean,
No, I
she'd
know.
be scared if that were the case.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. As is everybody when they find out that
Right.
information.
Just like I did when it came back, it's like it's back.
Yep.
You know?
No, I hear you.
But
I hear you, Petey's mom.
It's nothing to just put out there to people.
Yep.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Thanks, Petey's mom.
You're welcome.
Bye. What was I going to say? So really that was it. I mean, there was nothing, nothing that was very interesting. As I said, I'm going to go back through it now because I want to see exactly how she framed what she was talking about as to why she was in the hospital. Because, I mean, for me personally, because I want to see if she hinted at anything that it was a mental health crisis, and if she tried to, quietly say who caused her to go there, without saying a name. So, Dora, you got anything else you want to say?
And everybody in here, thank you guys.
Make sure you tell Smitty that I said hi next time, and I'm looking
Well, I'm
forward
sending him straight to your house.
Oh, goody. So that'll take him, about a day or so?
Yeah, it's going to take him a day or so to get there. He's going to come see you.
Okay, cool.
And serve your papers.
But everybody else, I won't be able to go on. Jen says she has an appointment, so she's not going to be on anytime soon. But when she does go on again, hell yeah, I'm going to stream her, and I will be back doing that. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what else is going to come up. I do hope that people that go into her box, think about why she's bringing you in there. If it becomes a live where people in her boxes are talking about anything else besides Jen, I won't stream it because I'm just not interested in it. So we'll see where it goes, though. Okay, guys? Thank you, everybody. Mods, thank you so much. All the people in the chat, as usual. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, asking questions and, adding to the chat. And, you know, we'll see what happens again. Okay. So have a good one, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.
Yeah, I've been out of work for a while, for like over 4 months now because I got hurt at work. Welcome in, Kirsten. I got hurt at work. I hurt my back, my lower back, so I haven't been able to work. But they're paying me, so I don't care. They're paying me decent money, so at least for now, anyways. So I work in a warehouse. I work in a perishable warehouse, so it's like all the cold stuff and frozen stuff like milk, meat, yogurt, any kind of dairy. There's produce, and all types of other stuff. Yeah, it's about 35 degrees, but there's big industrial fans that blow the cold air around, so it makes it a lot colder. It's probably in the 20s. 21 an hour. But